What do you guys got going on? Did you try out Mortal Kombat? You know what's funny about Mortal Kombat?
Thank you.
I like it. It's just unfortunate. Don't you hate it when you like things that suck? Mortal Kombat makes me smile. I just fucking like this shit, dude. It's fucking tight. You know? I hate that. Hate liking things that suck. I guess Towers is gonna be your best way to just check out moves and shit. I was very apprehensive to try this because I'm concerned that if I try the beta, I won't want to buy the game. But fuck it, whatever.
Thank you.
It's nice to play a fighting game on pad for a change. I always liked pad. Oh yeah, that blind ninja. You're that ninja. I think that when you're watching it on Twitch, it looks exactly like MK11. But in person, it looks a little bit more nice than you think. It looks pretty nice in person, like on a HD TV. But not that nice. It still looks a lot like MK11. What the hell? Did you notice that the animations, they finally listened to us? We've been making fun of this shit for like over a decade. I've been making fun of down threes. They don't look stupid anymore. They used to fucking point at the fucking moon and shit. Down threes used to point at the moon, dude. What the hell? They finally look normal. Look. Down 3, down 4. Took them like fucking 12 years. More than that, because the down 3s look fucking stupid to the old ones. Making the characters hyper realistic like they did makes the violence a little bit harder to eat. Don't you think? Like, whoa, that's pretty cool. I think that it makes it a little bit harder to swallow. Like when their titties are mad big and the characters just look really cartoony. Not cartoony, but comic-like. Comic, exaggerated features, you know? It's a little easier to watch them get decapitated. But when it looks like a real person, it's pretty hard to eat sometimes. But who cares, man? That's fucking Mortal Kombat. How do you do a slide? There we go. Slide this motherfucker. It looks good. Did they speed it up? The last time I tried it, it felt like molasses. It felt like the actual startup and recovery of every move was slow. Every move.
Let's
so,
see that dash block.
There is no dash block, is there? Oh, there is. Wait, but not backwards. Oh yeah, there is. You can cancel dashes. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. One thing that sucks about MK11 is the overwhelming sensation of everything being taken away from you. Everything fun got taken away from you in that game. You can't run. There's no neutral jump combo things, which maybe there still aren't. But it's just like all the moves you wanted were not available to you unless you picked that variation. So it had this like really overwhelming feeling of just everything, freedom got taken away. That game felt like shit. I saw Kano take a guy's heart out and hold that shit in the sky when it was brand new in the arcade. It was like, you have no idea. There's no way I could explain that to you. Absolutely unheard of. Up until that moment, it was just like in a video game. It was just so crazy. I couldn't fucking believe it. I remember that moment and I'll never forget that moment. Just being a kid and watching the big kids play that shit and he takes the guy's heart out and it's beating. I could not believe that shit. I mean, I was like 7, dude. And this not, look, 7 back then is like 1 year old now. Okay, back then you didn't have pornography on your smartphone at the age of 5. 5-year-olds these days are smoking cigars and fucking having anal. You know, these days God knows what they do, overdosing on grandma's fentanyl. You see, back then 7-year-olds were like actual children, okay? Like, we didn't have the internet. I mean, I didn't even, like, first porno was like 13. You found like a page of a porno when you're 13. Everyone in school ends up seeing it, you know? You see what I'm trying to say? Anyway, point being, when I was 7 years old and I saw that Kano shit, I couldn't fucking believe my eyes. It was absolutely unheard of. I couldn't fucking believe it. It was like the first titty or some shit like that. It was unheard of. That's why Mortal Kombat is sick. Because it's so, like, so old. And, like, it was so sick back in the day. Even though it may or may not be sick now, at the moment. To be determined. Do you guys think this shit is sick? Tell me the truth. That's pretty funny. There's a lot of fuck no. Well, one thing I will tell you is, it's very unfortunate that the guys who make this game are not trying to change your mind at all. The guys who make this game are not trying to change your mind. You don't like Mortal Kombat? Well, eat a dick, bitch. We're not gonna change that shit for a second. Man, I really do wish that Tekken did a reboot. One thing I do like about this game is that it's a reboot. In some way. I don't know what kind of a reboot it is, but at least it's an attempt at rebooting the franchise. I don't really know if it's like, it could be an illusion. Like, whatever, it's a reboot, but it's just MK12. I don't know, whatever that means. It just feels like when games get up to the 11s and shit, it's time to kind of start from scratch, I think. At the very least, to temper the expectations that all these mechanics they've invented must stay in. That's a problem, I think. When you have a game that just has 11 years of stuff in it, no matter what you do, if you make part 12, people are going to be like, well, why didn't you include this? I miss this. I miss that. Where's the crypt? Why can't you customize characters? Well, all this other shit, right? Well, what was it again? Fuck. I think if you reboot, you kind of tell everyone to shut the fuck up. We're starting from scratch. Even in Tekken 8, it really frustrates me that so many of Tekken 7's mechanics were shoehorned in, especially when those mechanics almost felt like they were put in the game to keep it fresh so it doesn't get stale. Like, what the fuck, dude? Why did they have to put wall bounces and, like, or maybe not wall bounces, but armor? Like, the armor concept didn't need to come back. They tried it. Maybe they could have refined it a little bit, but I don't think that it's necessary to have to bring these mechanics back. There's other ones too. I'm not remembering at the moment all of them, but I think that's a big contributor to why Tekken 8 feels like Tekken 7 too much. But to be fair, I don't know. I guess I didn't play MK11 long enough to be able to say this feels just like MK11. But when I watch it, it looks like MK11. I want to like just feel it. It feels better than it did last time. I promise you. You have my word. Last time, it felt like when I was playing it, I was like, wow, they weren't kidding. It's fucking slow. This feels like the same as before. Like pre-slow. It doesn't feel slow, it feels crispy. Not crispy. It is Mortal Kombat. Feels like it was crispy before they put it in the package, but it's still good. Like you ordered that shit, like nachos, but delivered. DoorDash nachos are still good. The chips are still a little crispy on some parts of them. Katana. I like the way she looks. This game looks pretty good when you're watching it in person, I promise you. Not that you ever will, because you have to. Oh, nice. Nice. Yes, that's the first thing I do with any character I pick. Damn, she looks down, looking for a contact lens. Damn. Why is she putting her leg up while she's looking for that contact lens, dude? Why is she putting her leg up like that? Under the couch. Man, look at Jax. That is... You guys can't see it. I know it because I stream in 720p. And I was watching 1080p streams of this and it looked like shit. But in person, it looks so much better. Just like all new games, basically. This started happening back when Killer Bitch Thing. Remember Killer Bitch Thing? It was on the Xbox. That was the first time where I realized that games have gotten too... Like, graphics have gotten way too good for you to be able to see them on the internet. You just can't see it. Yeah, I remember that. I had seen videos of Killer Bitch Stink and thought, man, this game looks like shit. But when I saw it in person and all those little particles were flying around, I was really impressed. And it's the same now. It's only gotten 100 times more evident when you play the game in person. Hey, what are some of these moves? You know I'm sick of this shitty-ass character. I'm going back to Sub-Zero. God, look at that. He's farting? That's the kind of shit you do when you fart. Little fart kick. Man, for a second I thought they made down threes not look stupid, but it turns out it's just Sub-Zeros. The animations suck? I don't know if suck is the word. I don't know what the word is. It's like the perfect animation of someone doing something stupid. Like the guy who like motion captured that animation probably felt like the biggest asshole ever. I think I'll buy this no matter what. I was like thinking if I play the beta it's gonna make me want to not buy it when it comes out. But I think I'm gonna buy this. It's a direction plus... Oh, Jax is on cooldown. Man, cooldowns suck a cocky, dude. I hate cooldowns. It's so stupid. There's never anything... It's just so not immersive. Cooldowns are just not immersive. There's never a situation where it feels natural to have to wait for things to cool down. What the hell? Cooldown is better represented in a way where you earn the recovery of it, or it's you get the recovery of it over like something split into turns. Cooldown is too much about time. That I don't like. Time, reminding the user of the concept of time in general, I think is a bad idea. You want the user to not ever think of time, because that way you're always like on the clock. You're trying to make this shit happen faster. If you have a cooldown, you always want cooldown reduction. Nobody likes that, dude. That never feels good. It never feels good. I think that cooldown, even though it's probably necessary in a lot of cases, I think you have to be careful how it's implemented, and it can be implemented really well. I mean, what's the difference between cooldown or meter gain? I mean, you earn it. You can basically, like, balance the meter gain. Let's say you want meter to come back in a certain, like, at a certain rate. Just balance the meter gain to do it at that rate. Who am I fucking talking to? The guys who developed Diablo 4, that's who I'm talking to. You know, another problem with cooldown is that it really forces you to look around a lot. Maybe if the... What do you guys think of the idea of the cameo cooldown being next to the meter bar? Why would it not be there? so that your eyes don't have to fucking bounce around the screen so much. It's like on the top left and top right of the screen. If it were next to the life bar, I mean, every character has a life bar, right? And every character who plays this game is gonna have a cameo. So why not put it next to the life bar? It doesn't logically make sense that it's up there. He's a blind ninja. The UI designer has no idea about games. Well, I'm sure you graduated from UC Irvine years ago and are an expert, but you're right. It seems like that's a big problem these days. UI design seems to be like, for some reason, every main menu looks like you're searching through Netflix. You know, like there's, for some reason, just listing out your options is taboo. Don't fucking do that. Just fucking tell me what I'm allowed to do. No, you have to have like someone talking to you named Lopez telling you about meet me at the coffee shop and I'll teach you about license tests. Like, dude, can we just do this the old-fashioned way? Do we have to have this fucking new like style of UI? Shit sucks, man. Yeah, it doesn't feel bad. It feels like Mortal Kombat. I think the first beta felt worse than normal Mortal Kombat. Like, I think the average Mortal Kombat player would have been turned off by the game speed of the first beta. But now, I think it's gonna please Mortal Kombat players. But I just, unfortunately, I really wish that, like, Tekken 8 and this game, it doesn't feel like they're trying to change people's minds that don't like the game. And that's not that cool. In contrast, I think that Street Fighter 6 is like, I think a lot of Street Fighter 6 players that like Street Fighter 6 didn't like Street Fighter 5. And I think that's like impressive of the devs to get people to like a game that they didn't like the last one of. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Whatever, I'm sure you're deducing it like a fucking riddle. I'm trying to say the sequel is not trying to onboard haters. This is not trying to change your mind if you're a hater. And neither is Tekken 8, unfortunately. Street Fighter 5 was trash. Have you played MK11? Just because the previous game was trash doesn't mean the next game can't change your mind about it. Like, you know. Or, not change your mind about it, but do something to try and appeal to a wider audience, maybe? It's not just this game. I think Tekken 8 also is suffering from that. You love this stage? The stages are nice too, though they don't look that good on stream. Just like the rest of the game. In person it looks really great. I was admiring the water in the pool. Shit looks nice, and the background looks really nice too. You can't see that. Like, behind the pool, you can see, like, you know, the beach and shit. It looks really, really good. This character's whack. Go get Sub-Zero. I'm glad I gave it a little try. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to learn how to do things and shit. I want to see things more than do things right now. Those of you who are not familiar with Mortal Kombat will change under your nose without even warning. Like, they feel like it, tomorrow they're gonna change it. It's like the game has always been designed with knobs on the other end so that they can adjust shit. I remember when MK9 came out, right? MK9 came out, and I randomly bumped into Tokido. Keep in mind, this is like 100 years ago. I ran into Tokido, and I was like, hey Tokido, what do you think about Mortal Kombat 9? I like it, but I feel like it's designed to be changed. Like, nothing feels like it's set in stone. And he was so fucking right about that. This was before, Jesus Christ, crunchy ass game. So that's like a big ass tiger or something. Anyway, he was hella right about that. They changed things like crazy, constantly in Mortal Kombat. So that's part of the reason why I'm not really interested in like figuring things out in the beta. Same with Tekken 8. But those of you who are interested in doing that, I think it's going to be very valuable to the devs. Because, you know, it's very hard to have the same kind of game testing you get when the public has the product versus just a couple of dudes beta testing it. Oh yeah. What'd you? Damn it! Fatal. Hey, happy big Saturday. I'm chilling.